We are starting soon.
Hello and welcome back to the Album Book Club. This week we are reviewing Tension by Kylie Minogue. This is a 2023 pop album. And get things started. How do you guys kind of feel about this one going into it?
I liked this one. I mean, mostly. I don't know. Liked might be a strong word.
It was just fine. It existed in the grander ethos.
I will say we maybe aren't the best with standard pop albums because we like to read into music way too much. But that being said, we should probably get into our top 3 songs. My top 3 were Things We Do for Love, Hands, and Story.
Mine were Love Train, You Still Get Me High, and Things We Do for Love.
All right, and mine were Tension, Hold On to Now, and Padum Padum.
My bottom song was 10 out of 10.
My bottom song was Tension.
Whoops, my bottom song was Love Train.
It's so valid.
I could see the case for everything there, really. Well, that being said, let's get into the first song of the album, Padum Padum. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 7.
I also gave it a 7.
Yeah, I think this is a really interesting start for this album. The chorus is obviously supposed to mimic like a heartbeat thing. I thought it was a neat little thing to have going on. Just came through a little bit goofy. Like I thought it was like when it first happened, I was like, oh, that's neat. But then as it kept going on, I was like, okay, this sounds kind of silly. The auto-tune does kind of dip into full robot mode a little bit throughout this track. I think this is the only one I really noticed it on. And the beat is pretty good, but overall, I feel like this one is just like all right. It's like a standard pop song. I wasn't too into it, but it sounded good.
The biggest note I have on this one is that it's in a Phrygian dominant scale mostly, which is that kind of Middle Eastern kind of tone, I guess, that there was to it. I didn't write her name down, but whoever wrote this one writes a lot of songs in that scale. Other than that, I like that I generally liked the mixing. You know, there's a lot of side chain going on. Really clean and clear.
Yeah. I did like the fact that it was in a different scale than we're typically used to. It made what was just going to be a standard techno song or like a club synth fun pop song go into something that was just a little weird and stood on its own, which is why it got a higher score. Other than that, it's got a lot of compression on it, like a lot of compression. And a lot of techno music does, but eventually it lets up. And I think a big theme of this album is that it just doesn't let up.
I was about to say, it's pretty much like that the entire time.
It
Like,
really
we get a
just,
lot of compression.
It starts choking tighter later, too. So it just, like, it gets tighter, and it's like, oh, cool, they're going to let up. No. It just gets worse.
Just compress it more. Well, that ends the first track. Let's get on to track number 2, Hold On to Now. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.5.
I give this one an 8. I can take it if you want. I just really liked the beat was a little catchier here. I guess it was more of what I expected to hear. There was a really nice build in the track. The only negative note I had, the vocals could get a little nasal at times, but I don't know if that's just the Australian accent coming through and I'm just being weird.
It may be. I didn't really notice that at all. I will say the background, the kind of synth pop stuff we get in the background, it goes crazy in this song. I think it sounds great. I just wish like the beat itself was a little bit more interesting. Like the synth pop elements we get are really cool, but if they had something kind of more sturdy to sit on, I think it would do the track a little bit better. But yeah, it sounds a little bit better than the first one, but it's kind of super similar. But that's something that we're gonna get into for the rest of the album. Logan.
Yeah, man, it's the same song. No, it's actually a slightly worse song. I had a problem with the vocals being just quiet, barely too quiet. That might have just been the fact that AirPods kind of suck, so for better or for worse there. The actual like arpeggiator in this song was going ham. The synth did not stop moving. It did not let up, and that was what made the song actual fun. The problem with this album was I was very much going into it expecting it to be a pop album, like a true pop album, not like an almost Charlie XCX kind of club album. And then it eventually does get to that pop album. It's just weird that we threw it with this techno stuff first.
I was about to say, we get a lot of techno pop stuff here. I think it sounds really cool, honestly. Like, the front end of this album is kind of nice for me. All right, anything else? Okay, we're on to song number 3, Things We Do for Love. I give this a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave it a 7.
I give this one a 6.5.
6.5? Why?
This reminds me of a lot of bands I don't like. I literally wrote it sounds like The Weeknd, and I literally cannot.
On the wrong camera.
Did I transfer to the wrong one? See, I'm trying to learn here.
Gosh, this guy's fired.
I
Connor's
wish.
not here this week, guys. Carson came back from the dead and killed him.
Oh,
we-
yeah, I took his life force over here.
In YouTube speak, we re-alived Carson.
Yeah.
Wait, real?
Do you want to show me? Like, yeah, I took his life force, and now I'm back.
Nah, that's Big Dale. That's always Big Dale.
Yeah.
He's just chilling.
All right, but yeah, I think I made my point. It just sounds like a lot of things I don't like. I don't know. There was good things though. Like the energy keeps moving forward, even though the track's pretty boring. With the use of a lot of breaks, I enjoyed that here.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I loved about this track. The energy really came through. I thought it was fun pretty much the entire time. And I do feel like the background track had a little bit of this ponders to the 80s elements thrown in there. But the vocals here are kind of the other thing that set it above the rest for me. I feel like the compression is either less or there's an effect that's not on something they just kind of did differently with the vocals in the song. I don't know. They sounded cleaner. And it made the track even more fun for me.
Yeah, there's definitely less of the sidechain pulsing. That's what I saw on the first one. Like when you sidechain something, you're essentially connecting the compression ratio to something else. And what they'll do is they'll chain it to the kick, and they'll pull the whole song down, and that's how you get that like pulse thing. It's just side chaining, and then they way overdo it in a lot of electronic music so that it feels like it's going somewhere, so it's not stagnant. And this track just had enough in it that I guess they didn't have to.
Yeah, the synths were straight up 80s. There's even a line in there that I feel like might have accidentally been stolen from another song, but it was a more obscure song, so I understand it. It just moves. It's got a good groove. The thing that makes me really, really mad is for how big Kylie Minogue is. The actual musicality that you get throughout this whole album is impressively not impressive, you know? It's like they're like, we're going to do something really cool, and then they just like fail to orchestrate anything from it or do anything other than make it kind of like a weird, cool pop song, you know? It's a pop song that sounds a little different, but it's not. It's just pop in a different scale, or oh, this one's got extra synths, or ooh, too much compression, the name of the game on this one. It's just, something's going on that makes it so boring.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into it. I don't think this is something that is necessarily designed to be consumed in album format.
This is meant for like GTA radio, spread out over an 8-hour gaming session where they sporadically come on.
The other thing I think is funny is you guys have both said it sounds like the 80s, but Kylie Minogue is an 80s artist.
Mm-hmm.
so that would make sense. All right, I'll switch back. There you go.
All right.
Sorry.
Next song is Tension. I give this a 5 out of 10.
I gave this a 1.
Logan.
I gave this one 8.5.
All right, explain your love before we...
Oh, my love. I really liked the 3-peats at the beginning.
You gotta switch cameras.
This is killing me. They're backwards. They're backwards of how I would have it, because it's backwards of where they are. Oh no, it's not backwards of where the cameras are, but it's backwards. Okay. Anyway, so the 3-peats are catchy. The track is moving and grooving. I really liked the robo voice, and I really liked the piano synth when it's going on. I do have a negative note. There's some doo-doo-doos. And that's usually a sign of just not caring enough to write lyrics.
I also have a note about the doo-doo-doos. I said the chorus is okay, but the doo-doo-doos are getting to me. Like, they started to get really annoying towards the end. The thing that really kind of irked me about the song, and Logan has a similar thought to this, that break right before we get into the main chorus right there, that irked, the lyrical content of that. It just made me uncomfortable. That's like the main part where they're like urging to, touch. Weird. It makes me feel weird. I don't like to listen to it, man.
And it makes it worse because it's a stretch bar.
Yeah.
It's stretched in the phrase, so it's either 9 or 10 bars there. I wasn't counting, but I noticed that too. It is kind of weird.
It's a little parental advisory for you. Grammy and Grampy and little kiddos, stop watching. Bonk straight to horny jail, man. This song is criminal. There should not be any way that this kind of music is like this big of a platform. It's like her number 3 song on Apple Music or something. It's wild. It's just lines about being touched very inappropriately, and not even creative lines about it. There's not like a double entendre. It's the same 7 lines that aren't clever in any way, which I guess get to the point. But oh my gosh, how many times can you beat a dead horse?
A bunch if the internet's proof.
All right. Well, I guess we can beat the horse one more time, because that's the next track. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Give it a 6.5.
I gave this one an 8.
Listen, Daft Punk's was way better.
So I forgot to take notes on half of this song because it wasn't Daft Punk.
Yeah. Right. I was kind of expecting some sort of cover here, and I don't know why. I was like, it would be kind of cool if we saw a cover, because it's just like a standard pop album. I wanted something a little bit more interesting. But the slight groove that we get into while the song is building up is actually really nice. I thought a lot of the sounds in this one were really nice, and we have the clean vocals again. They took some of the effects off, and maybe some of them were better used in this one as well.
Yeah, I don't know. This one just I was vibing after the last track. I really enjoyed the vibe of this one. That's normally not me. It was a weird one, but I liked the way the rhythm changed up in the piano. So it would start out with a downbeat and then it would kind of kick to the offbeats. There's an orchestra hit, which is always one of my favorite little sounds to just put in stuff. I really liked the almost it was almost like mariachi horns or something that were subtly in the background. I don't know how else to explain it, because it should not have made sense, but it worked really well. And then they kept using a an envelope filter on the bass that was awesome. I just liked the track a lot here.
Yeah, I was impressed that there was actual lyrical content again, not 7 lines of terribleness. There was a good groove, is well produced. I kind of hate doing albums like this, because how do you talk about something that is got a lot of money put towards it, and everyone's heard it, everyone knows who it is, and it's not like Rush where we can talk about how good these players are and it's something in our wheelhouse. This is something that's vaguely in our wheelhouse, where we like pop music in various instances, and it's just this horny pop is not my side, I guess.
Well, not all of it's horny, just some of it's horny.
There's all undertones there.
There is all like weird, but the album is called Tension.
Yeah, you're spot on with the name there. Good concept album, Kylie.
I mean, I don't know. I think I learned that I have a threshold for it. We'll get into that soon.
Okay. Well, let's get into the next track. You Still Get Me High. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Gave it a 7.
Oh, I didn't hit the button. Sorry, I hit the other button twice again. Yeah, I give this one a 6.
Yeah, the slower start in this one, I was like, are we getting a full slow track? And then it just builds straight up into the same thing. The weird vocal thing is back, and it's thick here. Good Lord, the compression on that's thick. And this one feels like this album's song of all time. You know, this is a song. It's here. Just doesn't do very much.
Yeah, I originally wrote thumbs up and then crossed it out, realizing I would need it later. Yeah, I liked the slow intro. I guess Carson didn't, but I liked it. That's literally the only note I have.
No, that was one of the only things I did like about the song.
Oh,
like,
okay,
I thought
good.
I thought we were getting an actual slow song, and then it just built up in the same thing.
I need to learn to listen. Apparently.
Look, man, I think I learned today that Australia as a nation may just be a little behind. The longer that this went on, it felt like there was not one like truly modern sound on here. This album felt like it was built on 2010 computers with like samples from 2005 and pre, but in the highest quality you could ever get them in. It's insane. Other than that, I stopped dogging on Australia to talk about how there were too many O's and Ah's in the chorus. And then you get this nice refrain and post-chorus that sounds really good, except the synths are like cranked out the wazoo. It actually blew my head off and did not make me very happy going into the next track, but it saved itself.
All right, for our non-Australian friends geography segment, bands from Australia include AC/DC, INXS, Tame Impala. I think I knew that one. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Jet, another big 90s band.
Love Jet.
Men at Work, Air Supply, apparently the Bee Gees. Wolf Mother, I did know that one. The Vines, Silverchair, Empire of the Sun. There's a lot of like alt rock and electronic, and it seems like those are the things that do well. So I don't know. The electronic thing makes sense coming from there.
I imagine it is very hard to get a lot of things popular in Australia, just due to how the way that the country is. There's like half of it is just like uninhabitable wasteland, and you know it's a giant island out in the middle of nowhere with not a huge ton of resources. So a lot of those instruments probably cost a lot of money to import.
Yeah, I didn't realize this until I started watching some stuff about the culture. There's like a city on each side, pretty much. There's like a small country on each side that are both very, very populated, and nothing in the middle. Mm-hmm. And their closest like import-export for most things is Japan, which leads to weird because you would think the culture, but not really, only sort of.
All right, well, let's get into the next track. Hands. I gave this a 7.5 out of 10.
Give this a 7.
I gave this one a 6.5.
Ooh. I think this one sounds pretty generic, but the energy in this one really sets it out. This one kind of puts itself a little bit above it just because it feels more fun while they're doing the chorus. We have this like slight funk in the background that's really nice. I think it does like really well with this style of like electro pop, whatever the hell you want to call it.
This is the sequel to Tension. This is just the actual bonking going on. With like instructions. I don't know. Some of it was fine. I liked the guitar track. I liked that there was actually a guitar that I'm fairly sure was a real guitar. It said I liked this part where she talked in the bridge, which is weird because I normally don't like that. So I guess it was sensual or something. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Why are you thinking about that?
I mean, that's what this album is for.
True. Tension.
Yep. Yeah, it's Tension.
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest. Song started out like it was gonna be great, like even a possible 8. But then someone came in sounding like Pharrell with the worst flow I've ever heard. And like the whole back of this track is going hard. It's great. And then someone's got that like Pharrell Williams flow. You know what I'm talking about. And then immediately after that, you have a good, solid, like actual chorus. I couldn't figure out what was what, to be completely honest. It sounded pretty. And then they turned into Nicki Minaj. And it was, oh my gosh. It was hard to give this a 7. It was a rough fight with my head. It did not go well. I may have lost.
All right. Well, I think that brings us into our next track here, Green Light. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Give it a 6.5.
I give this one a 5.
Not bad. I miss the energy going on. An obligatory saxophone comment. I have to make it. Oh yeah, I said obligatory saxophone comment on fake ass saxophone. I can't tell you why, but I still like it.
It's real.
Is it real?
Sure. Yeah.
It sounded kind of fake.
It's a sample, I think. I don't think they got someone in the booth, but I bet it's a real sample.
I'm 90% sure someone played that solo.
Huh.
Really?
Yeah, it when you mix stuff like that into something that sounds so electronic and so fake that everything starts sounding like samples no matter what. I actually think quite a few of these tracks are probably like bespoke samples that were just filtered and chopped up and changed to turn into that. There's a lot of production that goes into stuff like this. You know, it's not just pulling up Logic and selecting something most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think the chorus was too bad either. That was my last note.
Why was the bass scuba diving? There was so much compression. He was playing. I legit thought this was someone like they recorded the bass in an aquarium tank underwater. It was so bad.
It's that filter.
It's ridiculous. And then I could not give a crap about anything else that was happening in this song because the bass just pissed me off so bad. And then I wrote obligatory sax comment by Carson.
Yeah, I just wrote that it had a Kenny G section, so it was down a point. It was originally a 6.
Kenny G sections at a point for me.
So like saxophone for me is like I get it. Like I enjoy it when it's good, but when it's bad, it's real bad. It's kind of like cheese. If cheese ruins something, it's awful.
For me, if it's saxophone, it's saxophone. I love it. I don't care what it sounds like.
See, I think I'm in his boat, but on the cheese argument, I think all cheese is good cheese.
See, that's why I figured
the dichotomy of man.
Yeah, I figured it was a good argument. I mean, certain cheeses can definitely ruin certain things. Like imagine like I don't even know. I see it, but I'm also weird when it comes to cheese. I like gorgonzola, so like
I'd probably eat cheese on most things. I won't eat barbecue sauce on most things.
Oh.
Well, preferences. This is what's important. It's all preference.
What was your preference towards this song?
That was it. That was all you got. The
only
note I wrote was that I did not like the saxophone section. Man, I was really struggling at this point to write anything. We talked about it before. You know, it almost felt like trying to describe to someone that's never had it, like angel food cake, what it's like. It's just really sweet and really airy, and then it's there, and then it's not. And like, there's nothing bad about it.
You look at it and it's just gone.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing bad. I'm not saying the album's bad. You know, I know enough to be dangerous when it comes to a lot of the more electronic stuff, but not enough to really make a lot of educated statements. So it's I don't know, it's kind of an interesting one, especially as I figured out this. I actually had to stop the album right here and take a break because I had completely gone into overload at this point.
Right before disc 2, they have a break in there for you.
There's a disc 2.
Yeah. You didn't listen to it?
I did, but my break was at the last 3 songs.
Well, yeah. No, there's 3 more here. Like, we have 3 more to go to before disc 2 starts.
Oh, I thought you meant that it was happening right there. I was like, homie, the disc 2, if you have the disc 2 break here, we're definitely having a 30-minute episode today.
No.
We're already halfway there.
Yeah, I actually, I was having trouble. I had to go back and listen to some of them because it was hard to figure out where they were transitioning since my, Apple Music was just pulling them, and some of these songs were a little on the short side, so things were just transitioning, and I was like, wait, is that a new song, or did it just change? and sometimes it's really hard to tell because the breaks in some songs sound more different than the next song. We'll get there. We'll talk about it.
I was going to say, we'll get into more of that later.
Yeah.
Anyway, next song, Vegas High. I gave a 6 out of 10.
Give it a 6.5.
Yeah, I also gave this one a 6.
Let's go gambling. That's all this song's about. Go gamble your money away. Go. That's all you need to do. Yeah, it's just kind of here. And then this is the point where I'm like, okay, all this music is starting to just sound the same. Get this pop album out of my ears. You know, I want to take a break. I want to go do something else. But it doesn't do too much to stand out from anything else on the album. And it gets repetitive. So, yeah, what are you going to do?
This was another one I basically have no notes for. The chord changes are really weird on this one, and it's really weird because they're really bright sounding. I don't know how else to explain that other than to tell you that what I wrote is chord changes too bright for instrumentation, and the whole like electronic thing is this kind of like boomy, pulse underneath, and then it had this really bright, almost like, I don't know, like almost like Philip Glass or something. Like it was so weird to hear these really bright. I guess they're borrowed parallel chords from another key or something. And it's not that I hated it. I just wasn't expecting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fine. I think this entire song was missing, like, slapback delay, a little bit of reverb, and some harmonies. It just needed something. It was missing... It felt like it was missing its soul, like there was a shell there, but it had.
I guess that's kind of what I meant when I said it doesn't do anything to stand out. Like it's just like missing something.
It got hit by the worst of the fact of this is just an overly pop produced album. This is the one that had to be on the record. The producer went in and said, "This one's got to be on there. It's got to make money." And I don't even know if she wrote any of these songs. I highly doubt it.
So I'm like 80% sure that like most of the back of this album is just padding for time. But
I would bet that this was 4 songs, and they're like, yeah, we got 7 others, or whatever, the 14 tracks. And they're like, yeah, we got 10 others.
So to your reverb point, I will admit I cheated. Not only did I turn off lossless, but I turned on spatial audio to listen to this one because I knew I was going to need it.
Yeah. Look, it's not bad. It's just like missing a lot of care. And I think this was, a few years ago? She was still in her 50s.
This is last year.
Oh, this was last year.
Or year before. 23 or 24. Which one? I don't remember.
23.
23.
Yeah, so a couple years ago. She was still in her 50s. She's been doing it forever. Is the largest selling female Australian artist. At what point do you just say, like, all right, I made my money, and just like hang it up? Not in a disrespectful or a bad way, but at what point did your legacy get tarnished and turned into 4 songs and 10 pads?
So I felt like that until I looked at how this was received. I thought this was a conversation we were going to have later, but I mean, this song hit number 1 or top 5 in more than half the world.
Oh, it's insane. I don't understand it either, because...
Did I say song? I meant album. Which one did I say?
You said song, but...
I meant album. Sorry.
I mean, the title track, Tension, like I said, I gave it a 1. I think it's terrible. And for it to do well is not unheard of, but for it to be in her, like, top echelon of songs is, oh my gosh. Is that what you want to be remembered for?
What you want to be remembered for is crazy, dude.
That's kind of, yeah, I don't think it's nearly that bad. I mean,
holy hell, Logan.
Not like when you die. I mean, like, as a musical artist, right? If I were to go and say Motley Crue, you would say like Dr. Feelgood or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's
if I were to say Kylie Minogue and you go Tension, I'm going to laugh in your face.
Well, but did Motley Crue release any good albums after Dr. Feelgood?
I liked Saints of Los Angeles.
Okay, well, I mean, You know, so like you're comparing it to bands that like they record 3 or 4 good albums and then they just put out albums to make their record contracts come out. And then when they tour, they just play their greatest hits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is not the same kind of artist here. We're not dealing with the same. I don't know. I see both sides. I see both sides as this is like a over commercialization and a bit of a money grab, but also like how cool is it that you get to be relevant in 2023 when you've been on the scene since the 80s?
I 100% get that side. My viewing of it is you're 55 and you're releasing the song Tension. You have grandkids that are probably bumping that.
I don't think she has kids at all.
Oh, okay. Well, theoretically, you would have grandkids aged little people if you had children. That would be what they're looking at from you. That's just a little bit weird to me, you know. That'd be like if Cher went out there and started doing that.
I mean, Madonna did, sort of. I mean, it's not that uncommon for like female artists, I guess, to do that, to live it up. I mean, you know, rock stars do it in their own way. I mean,
I think once you hit a certain age, you gotta knock it off with the overly sexual stuff and just turn into like writing songs about taxes.
Or like,
I mean,
like
Hugh
knitting.
Hefner didn't really stop, and it worked out for him.
Hugh Hefner was like the grossest person ever.
I don't know, man. I see what you're saying. Like, I'm partially playing devil's advocate, but like I'm also saying like it really worked for her here.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad she made her money. And I'm so glad that she still gets to be relevant. That is something that very few people from the 80s can still claim and do.
Now, she looks nothing on the album art like what she actually looks like. We'll talk about that later, but...
little face tuning.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into the next song. 10 out of 10. That's not what I rated it. It's the name of the song. I gave it a 4 out of 10.
I also gave it a 4 out of 10.
I gave this one a 7.
1.
You just switch cams.
Did I do it? Oh, I hit the wrong button.
I just say you never switch cams for our rating, but
well, so what's happening is you're watching me hit the button that I think makes sense. So that's what's going on. I should have switched it, but it's fine.
All right. So, why is she a feature on her own album? What's happening there? Also, why is the chorus on this that bad? Like it's bad. Like I do not like the male voice at all. It's everything else just sounds like the rest of the album. The different voice is bad. Everything else sounds the same, and she's featured on a song in her album, and it's accredited to someone else.
Yes. Also, the song is not very good. I don't know why I gave it a 7, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Because I was just thinking about the lyrics and, like, how objectifying it is.
it's gross.
Like,
It's terrible.
I mean, this is literally like if you can get canceled for Baby It's Cold Outside, I don't understand how you can put this out. Like, this is literally just quantifying everything about another human being. And yeah, you're saying it's a 10, but, like, I think that might actually make it worse.
A little bit, because it just feels grody, you know. It's like body 10, mind 10, vibe 10, whatever he says. But I remember body 10 being a thing. It's 10 out of 10. It just is like, oh, yeah, I'm going to rate you. And, oh, you're lucky. You're a 10 out of 10. It just feels gross.
I mean, it's like one thing if they had maybe said it once, but when they say it, I don't know, 5 or 6 times.
It's the chorus.
Yeah.
Every few seconds. I don't know. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's like gaslit objectification, maybe. I don't know. It feels disgusting.
It does feel like getting cornered by somebody that you don't know, and he just like just goes down this list, and you're like, okay.
Logan, I believe before you compared it to getting stared down by a dude, like getting looked up and down by him, right?
Yeah.
Was that this one?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, like, here we are over quantifying things, but that is what we do. You know, I guess if this came on at a club, you'd be like, yeah, you know, 10, 10, 10, yeah.
I think if I heard this at a club, I would like go find a trusted adult.
Well, so I know where all my points came from. It was because it was track 10 and it was called 10 out of 10. I really appreciated that.
That is a good
No.
finally good play on words.
No.
First time there's been a play on words. Everything else has been pretty straight to the point.
Yeah, that's true. but still, I don't like it. It's fun. Anyway, next song, Story. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Give it a 6.
I also gave this one a 6.
I think it was a little bit of recovery from the last song. I was like, oh, thank God. A chorus that sounds more fun. It feels, this one felt like weirdly just a little bit more passionate, like just a little bit more musicality in her own voice, I think. But yeah, I didn't have too much to say. I just thought it was pretty good after what we were coming off of. So I think you got a bonus point for that.
So that's really interesting. I have the exact opposite note of yours, is that it feels incredibly inauthentic because she's like trying to sing all this stuff about stuff that happened, but is being incredibly vague. And then like the backtrack is like this like dance tune, and there's so much auto tune on it and stuff. It's just like, oh, you were another thing that happened, and we did stuff, and yeah, and and it kind of felt like she was trying to write a Taylor Swift song, but like forgot in the middle that it was a dance track or something. Like, I don't know. It was so weird. It was so weird.
Yeah, this was my thumbs up, but I knew we really couldn't have that this week due to circumstances. The only thing that even remotely was memorable about this song, and now I'm finding out that it wasn't, is the overly high-pitched and terribly vocoded chorus. Everything else about this song was just there.
I actually think it was auto-tune. I think she can hit that note. I just think it was very tuned.
Really?
The stars coming out thing? Yeah, I don't think that's out of a vocal range. I just think it was so
Oh, I thought
like
they
squared
legit
and tuned.
like. No, I think she hit the note. I think they threw it out with a vocoder, because it was like warbling.
Warble.
Yeah, it's on purpose. I mean, it's another one of those. It's the, ever since Cher did it, right? That was the whole auto-tune thing, and it's kind of like a tribute to that, I guess, at this point. I don't know. I wrote that was a plus or minus on this song.
Yeah. Look, this is a bonus track. This
is not a bonus track.
This was
Oh,
the
you're right.
end.
This is the last one.
This is the last album track, which makes it worse. But
Yeah, this would have been the ending. And then the bonus tracks are definitely recorded way later, and I'll get into it, and you can tell. But as far as that goes, as this being the ending, it kind of sucked. If this was the end of like the non-deluxe album, this would be getting lit up right now for being a terrible ending.
okay, we'll get into it. Yep, we'll just get into it. All right.
All right, next track, started disc 2, Love Train. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I gave this one an 8.
Ooh, I give this one a 4.
I was immediately put off by hearing a lyric about Super Mario. I don't know why that put me off the song so much, but it immediately, it just set the tone in my brain to be like, oh yeah, these bonus tracks are not serious at all. And then I didn't like all the weird vocal noises going on. I did not like whatever they were doing with the voices. It did not sound very appealing to me, and it was just kind of there otherwise.
Yeah, I liked most of the lyrics in this one, but there was some ooh ooh la la la's, and I was like, that just doesn't need to be there. You could have just cut that section. But the big thing for me that's like criminal on this one is it just sounds like a ringtone with hand claps. Like it legitimately sounds like a 2012 Nokia slide phone stock ringtone, and like I get it, but also you could have got a real marimba if that was the sound you wanted, or you could have just stuck with 80s synths instead of making me think my phone was ringing 15 years ago. I don't know, like, what made you think that was a good idea, and it's awful. I mean, that's probably, not probably, that is hands down the worst sample or sound on this album as far as, I don't know, just it's like blatantly fake, but in a bad way. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like biting into an apple and finding out it's one of the plastic ones that your grandma used to keep on her table.
Yeah, that's fair. Through the AirPods, these were noticeably mixed better for AirPods, which is what makes me think these were recorded when she was writing Tension 2, which came out last year. So when the Deluxe came out for Tension, I think these were just tacked on. Yeah, they're definitely built better for consumer headphones. The fake marimba did not bother me in any way. Usually it does, but I was like, this has been an album of completely fake noises up until this point, other than one questionable saxophone. So, you know, whatever. It's in character, so can't hate.
All right. Well, let's get into the next track. Just Imagine. I gave this one a 6.5 out of 10.
Give this a 6.5 with a contingency.
I'm just gonna stick with my 6.
What's the contingency about?
That if this fact is agreed upon by the whole group, that it will be lowered by 2 points. That it sounds like Gravity by L. Goulding. That pop song.
I'm unfamiliar.
I guarantee you know it. It was on the radio forever. I can decide after the podcast and retroactively change it.
No, this one hit me with that nostalgia hit again. I was like, oh, that's all the old sounds. I think everything in the background is kind of where I pulled that from. And the chorus is just alright again. But, you know, just a standard kind of alright pop song.
Yeah, this one lyrically is kind of dumb. Also, it makes zero sense at all on the album because it's like, imagine all the things you could do to me when she's already told you what they are and invited you to do them. And
told you how to do them.
Right. I mean, presumably the things have already happened. And she's like, think of the things you could do. I don't know. Maybe, I know this is a deluxe track, but it just isn't, it's not very imaginative. And being put where it is on the album, I think, just made that worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought Just Imagine stood for what a song could have been if they actually cared to write one here. This is the most pop standard, like, doesn't do much track. It felt like a rip on another pop track. I was like, this is just another song, man. But I may have also just been thinking too much, and it could have just been like just a super standard pop.
I was
track.
going to say it just sounds the most pop.
Just
sounds.
the most like I'd have heard this on the radio 5 years ago. 6 to 8 probably.
All right. Well, I believe that brings us to our last song here, "Somebody to Love." I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 too.
Oh no,
man.
666. We're in trouble.
We are absolutely in trouble because we don't got nothing to talk about. Listen, I just wish this song was a cover. That's really all it is. Carl hasn't flipped over the camera to me, and I've been talking.
It's fine. You know what?
Yeah,
It's
we don't
fine.
even need to. Here you go.
Yeah. I don't know. I was sorry. I was reading my notes. There's so many things to do. No, I wrote that. I kind of like that the chords move with the music. It's like someone remembered how to write music all of a sudden on this one track. It didn't save it, but I did appreciate that there was chord movement, and not just don't. But I mean, I get it. Again, this is not my thing, and it's definitely not my thing for an album. I enjoyed it for the first 3 or 4 tracks, or however many that was. I guess maybe 5. And then I was like, all right, I'm really tired of this. I had a threshold, and I've just been pushing through it the whole time.
That's fair. Yeah. I'll be honest. This got 6 pity points. I heard this song in the mall once. I was out shopping, just heard it playing over.
This is mall music.
And it clicked while I was listening. It was like, oh, I've heard this in a mall. And I don't know why, but in my brain, if I hear your music in like a mall over the like actual intercom speakers, it means your career is dead. So well, I only know that because like I heard Dawkins at the mall, and it's like, yep, they're done for now. No one's gonna know who Dawkins is in 20 years. So it's just like that stooped to level of radio. You know, when you can be played at the mall, you've reached a different level of like sellout, I guess, in my mind. So this was just a super sellout song.
So as part of like the Walmart renovations, they've started playing like real music in there. It's not just like random like background stuff.
Oh man.
Except it's like covers. and they're not. It's not like kids bop, but the only way I can describe it is it's like family bop covers.
Oh.
It's like an entire family singing along to a pop song. And when I was in there the other day, Wagon Wheel came on in that style, and I was like, I have to leave this place before I have time to find something to put through my frontal cortex.
Acapella Wagon Wheel? Good lord.
Oh, no. There's music under it. I mean, it's not...
Under it?
Yeah, but it's...
Not denying the fact that the acapella is there, but it's just music is under it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be worse. It could be like a cover of a Pentatonix Christmas album playing in July or something, but like... Yeah, so sorry, you triggered me a little bit. I got triggered recently by the Walmart because I was already mad because I couldn't find anything.
True redneck calling it the Walmart.
The Walmart.
Well, our local Walmart can only be described as the Walmart because it's the worst one I've ever seen. So,
all right,
it is terrible.
Well, let's get into pacing. I gave the pacing a 6.5 out of 10.
I gave it a 5.
Wow, I gave this one a 4, and I felt like I was being generous.
Really? I mean,
5 does feel generous. 4 seems probably actually apt. It's all over the place. It's not a pop album. It's a club album that's very, very, very horny. It's just like uncomfortable. And then also for 45 minutes, this was the longest 45 minutes ever. Well, it was like 15 seconds would go by, and it was 3 songs, and then it'd be 1 song for the next 20 minutes.
I had the exact opposite problem. I felt like, for me, that 45 minutes was quick. I was like, oh, cool, we're done. Easy. I had a really easy time listening to this. I think a lot of it melded together, so I didn't really mind it. I just kind of let it wash over me.
Yeah, I talked about it a little bit earlier. Some of it's kind of random, where it bounces around, and it'll bounce around mid-song sometimes. It'll bounce around mid-track. Sometimes it won't. My note is one of the clearest things I've written. There's no way you're supposed to listen to this. And,
No.
and you're not. You're not supposed to. You're never supposed to turn this album on and actually listen to it top to bottom. You're supposed to turn this album on, remember that you like 2 or 3 songs, maybe dance, and then leave it on and let it play through.
I don't think many people make albums that are meant to be listened to top to bottom anymore. I mean,
yeah, I think this
people
is like
still
playlists,
do, but
right, like this appeals heavily to the playlist DJ crowd.
this is definitely a like pick one for this playlist, pick 2 for that one, pick 1 for this one. It's meant to be spread out, not 45 minutes sitting. Although I don't know, a lot of people put out vinyl. I think that's just a cash grab.
This would sound terrible on vinyl for a multitude of reasons, most of which being the vinyl mastering process and what it would do to the way these mixes sound.
Yeah.
There's nothing about making an electronic mix more woolly that has ever done it any favors. There's some of the early stuff sounds good on vinyl.
I like a lot of the Daft Punk stuff on vinyl. It's got a different charm to it.
That's because Daft Punk isn't like overly polished.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of overly polished, are we ready to get into this album art? Good lord, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Hold on, sorry, I was adjusting. All right.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.
I actually gave this one an 8 because I'll just go ahead. I liked the color spread, and even though she's green and looks like an alien, she managed to stay pretty hot. And then when I looked up her age, that made me uncomfortable. But
And then you saw what she looked like.
yeah, it's fine. You know, AI exists for a reason. You know, filters exist for a reason. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would sell as well with.
So yeah, sex sells. That's like the whole thing, right? I just don't think that you should de-age yourself instead of using someone who is just young and attractive, if that's what you're going for. Like, what's the point in de-aging you when you can just go find somebody that fits your like ideal look better?
I don't think she is. I don't think there is any true de-aging stuff
I think it's just makeup.
in
and
here. I
touch-up.
think it is just a lot of makeup,
Just like
lighting,
a lot
and
of
then
makeup.
maybe just a smooth. I mean, the most de-aging we're talking, I think, is a smoothing brush or something like
Probably.
that. I mean, you can see where the light's like
Yeah, like,
reflecting
that's
off of her
not
forehead. So it's her. It's just you could tell that there's a lot of makeup on that.
Oh, I just saw it. She looks like
I
an
think
X-Men character.
I think it's to the point where it's like past that boundary of like, okay, you have gone to the point of doing so much to your face, you almost look like a different person.
Oh yeah, for sure. When she like is in her 70s, her face is gonna look really, really tight. She's had some plastic surgery or lip filler done, but I understand it. You know, we all want to look a certain way forever, and plastic surgery tells you can do that.
I mean, we could be wrong. We could just be dicks. She could actually just take care of herself. I mean, she probably dances when she's touring, and she's been an artist since the 80s. I don't know. Just playing devil's advocate, just on the off chance we're wrong.
That's an edited photo, Doug.
No, it definitely is. There's definitely touch up and edit going on.
But also,
I mean, she's freaking green. She's not green in real life. I hope.
The thing I have to applaud, that typography is really nice. The way they've used the fonts, the way they've used her like same iconic logo in this new style of font, it's done really nice. And I almost never the typography on an album art is almost always a negative for me, right? I almost always hate how people do their words. Not here. This is done really well. And also, I agree with you on the colors. Colors look really nice.
I just appreciated color contrast. A lot of albums tend to pick a color, like a gradient and a bunch of complementary colors, and you get these albums that just kind of look flat and very one-dimensional, and there'll be a cool color, but this is not that. It's very much pop. It's very bright. It's very vivid, and this is another one of those that I gave more points because, like, if I saw this album, this would be one of the things I would think it would sound like. This may not be the only thing, but it's definitely one of them. So that, album art always gets extra points if I can tell what genre it is without knowing.
Yeah, this is a common album art style in this genre. I've seen a few. I've seen a lot that are better. Usually it is the younger, more attractive chick in a more scandalous position. Can't say.
I don't know. Sabrina Carpenter did it well, not being in anything close to being that scandalous, I don't think.
That's true. And
but
then
that's because she's got
like Fletcher. So.
Oh, well, yeah. Sabrina Carpenter also has an insane face card. Like, that's...
Also, look at the insert in the album. That's what sold it.
True.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've already said it, and we...
Sex sells.
Yeah, it's almost like we have an episode of the Appcast talking about exactly what's happening to music and talk about that exact thing. Sorry, little self-promotion.
All right, well, are we ready to get into album overall?
I reckon.
All right, well, I gave this album overall a 6.5 out of 10.
I gave this album overall a 6.5 out of 10.
I'll give you the half point. I originally gave it a 6, but I'll take it up to a 6.5. I might have been a little harsh based on my listen.
My whole thing about this album is it's just a pretty standard pop album. Like, it does a lot of things well. It does a lot of things not so well. It doesn't like to move around a whole lot, but it's also not meant to be listened to from top to bottom. Like, this is obviously designed for the consumerism of putting a bunch of my music on a bunch of your different playlists and listening to my music all the time, right? Like, that's where this seems like it was coming from. It doesn't seem like something to be listened to from the top to the bottom. But there really isn't a whole lot of tracks on here where I feel like they would stand out from like a general playlist crowd. Like, it's all at a pretty high standard because of the production behind it. But I don't think any of it is like super good.
Some of it is definitely very, very good for its genre. I just think because of what we do, it was literally impossible. I mean, if this song if every song had been as good as all of our favorite songs, I think this album might have gotten an 8. It just because of what it is and who we are, I don't think it ever had a chance of being much higher than that. I don't. I mean, I know you're going to say Daft Punk, and you're going to say, yeah, it could have been.
No, I'm thinking I like Marina and stuff, and that's in this same vein. I listen to a good few artists in like Fletcher that are around this, and I like them a lot. It's just I think, well, it also helps that they're young and hot.
Logan's like, the sex is selling.
I'm like, I hate to be the guy that buys the thing because the sex sold it, but it helps a lot when a young hot girl is like, yeah, touch me, and I'm like,
Logan.
I mean, we've all been honest about it this episode. I think that's pretty funny, but
it's just how it is. It's like
Yeah.
sex sells, and this is how it goes.
I mean, why beat around the bush around it? Like, that's what this whole album is. The whole, like, undertone of the album is sexual tension.
I would not call it an undertone.
The overtone of the album.
I would say it's an overtone of the album at this point, almost an overture. I mean, it's kind of the whole thing.
I don't think it ever stood a good shot with our format. I do agree on that point. But as far as like, it's in our wheelhouse. I think it's in everyone's wheelhouse because Connor and I both listen to Fletcher. I know that.
Yeah, and none of us hated it. I think it just led to a really long listen. And it's funny, I was thinking about it. We would have had a worse episode, but a higher rating probably had I not had the 3 extra tracks. It probably would have got a 7, I think. I think I would have given it the extra half point, but I was just so burnt out, so tired from, I don't know, my head was throbbing from the side chain. But, yeah. It's definitely an album. It's not designed to be actively listened to. We've said that. Some of the lyrics are very, very, very suggestive, and not suggestive, but literally outright. It's not a bad thing. Just, I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than maybe not for us. Definitely not for me today. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, to kind of speak well for it, I don't think I listened to this on the right speakers. I don't think any of us did. This has to be going through booming speakers, I think, for this mix to work. This is designed for a club setting where you feel the bass, you're not really supposed to listen to it, and then everything's coming through just way too high. And that's how it's supposed to be listened to. And we'll also half drunk.
I cranked it up on the 770s, actually. It sounded...
I just mean, I don't think anyone's got enough headroom. I'm talking, you gotta have like a full 1,000-watt sub and all that.
Well, I mean, as far as not, but I mean, my rig at home will now, they're the 80 ohms, and I've got that preamp pushing them, so they'll blow your eardrums out. I mean, they'll do it. It's just... And I turn it up a little bit, and I listen to some of my other favorite, like... I guess EDM and dance stuff, and I always try to give myself a reference for the mix, and that was my whole thing. The mix was awesome on this album as far as that was concerned. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Also, is like I think when I'm like talking about it needs more reverb here, really doesn't. If I'm in a giant room, it's gonna get the reverb through the room as it's coming through the speakers. So it's like every one of those little complaints I think we would have had in the setting that this is supposed to have been listened to. I bet sounds great. Other than that, I think if I'm listening to this in my car on the radio, it doesn't sound that great. There's a few tracks off of here that I'm like, yeah, I'll bump to it, and if they're on, I'm not going to skip them. But I don't think anything on here is anything I would go back to. Well, actually, I would add a few of these probably to a playlist of like fun techno dance club vibe music.
Well, since I drive around alone and I am the age that I am, I don't think I can ever listen to this in the car. But
yes, you can, Carl.
Carl, that means you can listen to whatever the hell you want to in the car.
It's 2025. You can listen to whatever you want. Just keep your windows up if it's something like this,
Nah. Be free.
Be free, yeah.
Be free.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that as you were saying that. I don't know that I would ever go out of my way to put this on in the car. But, I mean, in the right situation, I think this album does very well. And I think... This is another one of those, I think if I saw it as a live show, I don't know that I'd pay for tickets, but if I saw it as a live show, I would enjoy it, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
It's about the experience, and about being with others when you have that experience.
Mm-hmm. I think if I was actively into clubbing, or even if I was just at a club and a song off of this album went, it'd be great. It'd be perfect. Just the vibe with everyone being around, that is the situation for it. But sitting there writing notes about it is definitely not the situation for this album.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that has gone clubbing since COVID, but I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm sure people do.
I know a few people that have, but they don't like it. So
I knew people that went clubbing during COVID and have not been since, with the little cordon.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah, I just think it's weird to
I
have.
thought you were about to bring up people who died. I'm sorry.
No, oh no.
That's where I thought that was going. I was like, whoa.
No, I didn't mean it as in like they're dead. I meant like they had a really bad time, like being socially distant and trying to go clubbing, and that's why people just don't do it anymore. I thought it was interesting to have an album like this that came out since 2023, because it basically, all of the stuff that's like, we have pop stuff that's got that kind of influence and like sounds good if you're out with friends at a bar turned up loud, but there's not a lot of like club oriented music. At least I don't think. I could just be completely ignoring it, because I don't think there's a lot of clubbing going on.
There's Charlie XCX is huge. That's all she does. Clubbing music.
This just proves that I'm old, because I don't know who that is.
It's my song of the day from last week that got completely obliterated from the face of the internet because the album art.
Nice.
All right. Well,
You do a rap?
I said, do you know the album?
I was going to say, I do have the album pulled up. Next week, we are listening to Powertrain by Majestica. Be there.
Or B Square.
Yeah, don't forget to do all the things, like, subscribe, help us out, be our friends, whatever.